Well, hello again. Mark Rosanowski from Trackside here, talking Greyhounds with Jason the Wiz Lincoln from Sky Australia. Wiz, first thing, great thing yesterday, Rockstar Lincoln getting home and having some bragging rights, if nothing else.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, it's good for the guys, to be honest. It's a bit of fun for us at Sky, obviously, but yeah, for the guys that own the dogs, they put a lot of money into the game. Chris and Sean, you'll being a keen watcher of racing here in Australia, Mark, you'll no doubt have seen the prefix Rockstar go around plenty of times. And they won the big Group 1 race recently with a dog they bred in WA, Rockstar Patriot. They don't own him anymore, unfortunately, but they do a good job, those guys, and it's good to see him getting some success. And yeah, Rockstar Lincoln, he's finally broken the shackles. The name was hindering him for a long time.
Excellent. Hey, look, Greyhound racing continues in Australia, an opportunity for us to have a bet. And your local meeting, if you like, Dapto tonight is where we're going to look today.
Yeah, I thought I thought the three best punting options were at Dapto in any case. There's a really good meeting at Sandown. In terms of quality. That's, that'll be the meeting that you'd be most keen to have a look at. But in terms of having a bet, I think Dapto's the place. The first of them comes up in the first race, a dog called Wow. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to find him. He's going to be $1.50, $1.55, but he's a really promising young pup. He comes from a very, very good litter. There's a number of real smart youngsters that have come from this litter already, and he trialled real quick at Bulleye before he kicked off his career. So quick, in fact, that he started $1.50 on debut at Bulleye. Didn't have the best of luck there. It was a confident run, savaged the line. You thought next time for sure this dog, but he fell out of the boxes. Bulleye's next start, he had box 4. But again, he found the line really well. You get the impression he wants 500. Low draw suits him. Small field now. There's a couple of scratches. I think there's only 5 left in it. As I said, you don't have to be a genius to find him, but I think $1.50 is probably still actually over the odds.
Okay, that's good. He's 1.5, and nice way to start a multi. You've got a couple more for us. I think the next one in race 4.
Yeah, I'm actually quite keen. I would say this is probably, I know the other one's 2's on and this one's 2-1 against, but I'd be probably most confident about Sprightly Ebony, to be honest. It is a good field. The bitch in the red, Zest to Excel, ran second in the Richmond Oaks recently, and she backed it up with a very, very good second behind a dog called Good One. But you might have seen a little bit of Roso. He's one of the more promising stayers here in New South Wales, and he recently changed hands for a reported 120K.
Wow.
He won that race at Maitland very stylishly. Blue Moon Rising was actually in that race. A dog, again, you'd be very familiar with, a 2-time Group 1 winner, and he ran third in it. So Zest to Excel split Good One and Blue Moon Rising. The other dog that's full of quality is Corborn Maddox. He's got the 8, and he's going to start favourite in the race. He went 34.50 there recently, which is really humming along at Dapto, but I guess time for me to make the case for mine. Sprightly Ebony, she's run 29.60 over the 500 there, which is airborne. She's won 6 or 14, and I actually think that she's looking for the step up in trip. She's not one of these sort of get back, run home, flashing red light on it. You think, oh, yeah, this wants extra trip. I think she's more of a front running stayer / middle distance dog. I'm almost positive she'll lead, Mark. Red normally just falls out. The blue's got a little bit of pace, but in lesser company. I think she just sails to the front, Sprightly Ebony, and she's capable of running probably 34.5, 34.6 on the bunny, and you're running those sort of times. Rarely, if ever, do you get run down. Her run at Winnie last start, very good when she ran her race upside down. I'm really confident about her. I think $3.20 is an extremely good price. Doing a market on the race myself, I had her priced up more like $2.30. So okay. Hopefully
that's almost value.
Yeah, absolutely. It's one of those races, they don't come along every day. As you know, Mark, you do the form like me every day, and maybe once a week, once a fortnight, you get one that you think, I really think the market's missed this one, and that's the impression I get with her.
Okay, liking that. Race 4, number 2, Sprightly Ebony, 3.2 fixed at the moment, and let's hope everyone's lucky numbers 2 today here, because we've got a third number 2 coming up in race 8.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, she's very promising bitch, this one, Fauna's Flame. She's won 5 of 8. They thought enough of her to throw her in the deep end when she'd only had about 3 or 4 starts when they threw her in a heat of the Group 1 National Futurity, and She drew box 8 in a heat that had stacks of pace in it, but so good was she going at the time. She started $3.90 in a heat of that Group 1 race, as I said, having only had about 3 starts. So she's had probably another 4 or 5 since then. Her win at Dapto 2 back 29.70 is really hiking along, and she had a little bit of a break, couple of weeks off, and then went to Wentworth Park and broke 30 there at Winnie as well. She will need to miss the Red Early, who does want to push up the track, but she's got really good box manners. She'll be one of the first away, and she'll be looking to find the fence. Very strong. We haven't seen the best of her yet, Fauna's Flame, and be pretty confident that she's a good bet there in the last leg. So look, it's a nice little 3-leg multi, but you probably split them up into 3 would be my recommendation. Take the 2 of them with the short price favourite in the first. So race 1 into race 4, race 1 into race 8, and then probably take one with the 3 of them, hoping that we get the lot, Mark.
Nice. 3.2 for Fauna's Flame as well. So race 1, number 2, Wow, 1.5. Race 4, number 2, Sprightly Ebony, 3.2. Race 8, number 2, Fauna's Flame, 3.2. This is Dapto, New South Wales tonight. And meeting code's 31 for us here. Wiz, just to wrap up here, anything happened in the last 24 hours that should make us concerned for the greyhound racing industry in Australia?
No, not with regards to the greyhound racing industry. We had 4 meetings last night all around Australia that went off without a problem at all, which was fantastic. Again, had just a quick perusal on the Greyhound Racing New South Wales website this morning. Tony Mestroff, the CEO, does a Q&A every day. Some good reading there, even though it's not directly appropriate for New Zealand greyhound people, but the flow-on effects and the same questions might be the same questions that people in New Zealand had, for argument's sake. But we did have issues with the races yesterday, which would no doubt be across, Mark. The meetings in Sydney, Melbourne and Tasmania. Well, Tasmania had to be abandoned before they even kicked off, but the Sydney and Melbourne cards had already kicked off. Brisbane managed to get through theirs. Look, the jockey's been named in various sources anyway, so I don't think it's any secret that Mark Zara, I think, was either at the Golden Slipper meeting last Saturday, or it was at the Manikato meeting at Moonee Valley, the Group 1 meeting on the Friday before, where a number of jockeys came into contact with Mark. And apparently Mark, it's not Mark that's infected, but he was on a flight and he's been identified and called by whoever the commercial airline is, and suggested to him that he might want to go get tested because there were some people on that flight that apparently have tested positive. So, yeah, not great news for the thoroughbred game. They're suspended at this stage until the weekend. I think they're waiting for tests to prove positivity or otherwise. I think if they come back with negative tests, they're actually going to try and get Saturday's meeting underway. But look, they're probably pushing it uphill a lot more than us, Mark, for obvious reasons. A lot more people required to keep a race meeting going. And also the requirement for medical staff, which is one of the big things, I guess, that people are concentrating on. Whilst it may only be, a couple of St John's ambulance people that are required to go to the races, if someone does have a fall and requires medical surgery, I guess that's a demand on the on medical services that they don't really need at the moment. Whereas at the Dogs, obviously, we need a vet, and very rarely do participants get injured at the Dogs. I've wanted to injure myself plenty of times at the Dogs and other people, Mark, but through good behaviour and good training, I've learnt to resist that temptation.
Very good. Are we going to see Jason Lincoln on the Sky Channel today? No,
I've got 3 or 4 days off, thankfully, Mark. So, really, I was actually supposed to be coming to New Zealand, as you well know, coming over to the of the Speed Star, which I was really looking forward to, the Golden Chase. And I've been immersing myself in the trial times for the last month or so. But that information can be just filtered out now, and I can push some other rubbish in there.
Oh, look, and maybe down the track we'll be able to run it and perhaps get you over. Hey, thanks again, Jason, and I hope you're dynamite at Dapto today.
Yeah, fantastic. Thanks, mate.